Alright, yo, what up, guys? It's Diddy. We're gonna start day 2 of the Alpha Squad book. A lot of the stuff yesterday, we were chilling, drinking and stuff, so it was a little off topic. And one of the videos that I was trying to get from Johnny, because, we ran out of power and space, we're having troubles getting that. And I'm probably gonna end up basically retelling most of it, you know, with less interruptions between. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get high first. I'm gonna hit this piece right here, which obviously you can't see. You'll probably be able to hear. And then I guess I'm gonna retell the story up until where we got to last night, and then I'll edit the other videos, for content, and we'll see what happens. But, yeah. I don't know how much space these videos have. I don't know how much got left out with that video for Johnny. It's all good. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. Alright. Let's dive back in, shall we? Hopefully this video won't cut off too early. Okay, so starting back off from the intro. It says, this book was created to capture and retell the legendary stories of the Alpha Squad. Life is a journey, a world you're born into with no beginning or end, but the destinations is a high point of the life in between. And then as a dedication to some of the old family members that died, and then this dude from my school named Cody Gillette has passed away. Alright, page 1. A lot of this I don't really have to talk about, because it's just about my life up to the squad. I moved schools a few times. My family had a good bit of problems. But I don't really need to talk about that. Not right now. That'll come later. But I ended up meeting my friends Thomas Shirley, who was a valedictorian, and Danko. Like, the three of us were like the smartest math and science people in the school. And then that was pretty much my clique. And I stopped seeing my dad and my stepmom and my brother at the time, which was pretty sad. And then my mom ended up getting with my stepdad at the time, and he forced me into ROTC, even though I didn't want to go because he was like a hard military asshole, and he thought it'd be good for me, which actually did work out pretty well. But yeah, and that led into freshman year. And then I had to join two teams, so I joined exhibition drill, which is where you spin rifles, and then I joined drill team at the time. But later, I was a leader for PT team, and I was also on orienteering, honor guard, a whole bunch of other stuff. Getting to the next page. Yeah, at first I couldn't spin rifles without hitting my hand. That used to hurt like fuck. I couldn't do a basic spin without hitting the back of my hand, but then I fixed that. And by the way, exhibition drill, you might hurt yourself, if you're not careful, because it's hard to, stop yourself from getting hurt when you get hit in a weird area with, sharp part of a 10-pound rifle, made of fucking steel. And then, I got better and better, and then I got to where I was elite, and it was me, Trudeau, and Douglas, and then Gardner. Gardner being the fourth person. He wasn't quite as good as the rest of us, and Douglas was a little bit better than me and Trudeau. Me and Trudeau were at, like, the same area. And then, yeah, we were the best around the state. We went to the nationals. We did really good there. Placed me and Gardner at a routine. Gardner, like I said, wasn't as good, but we still placed in the top 30%. Trudeau got screwed out of his solo because he was a solo, and I wanted to do solo, but I never got to because I was too good at working with other people and shit. Yeah, and then we started doing behind the heads and like double behind the heads and the two rifle eclipses and 4-man tosses and shit. And then Douglas came up with the idea for this thing called Sacred Guard Drill Team, which was, us, the elite. But it never really got to happen, unfortunately, because school was closing. It was coming to a close because, it was, before long it was senior year, you know. But of course I haven't talked about Andy yet, which I'll get into in a minute, because I started hanging out with him sophomore year, and then he came back again, and that's when the squad started. But I'll get into that in a minute. It's important to know the ROTC stuff first, because that's where I met most of the people that are in the squad now. It's from whenever I led PT team, and a lot of the people that I knew, we were all really good friends, and on exhibition for sure. Um, yeah, and then all the friends, all the people in the squad started. I mean, not the squad, in the team started to dwindle out, and the new commander came in junior year. We lost our old commander. He retired, and then he was a hard ass, and he tried to cut the PT program, and I had to work with coaches to keep it going for as long as I could, which is basically just until senior year, and then it was over. Um, yeah, that sucked. And then after high school, here's the thing. Yeah, academics team. I was on that. Cyber Patriot was this thing that was gonna be like a online cyber defense team, but it didn't happen while I was in there. Um, and they didn't have Raiders either. I wish they had that. But Casey and Douglas joined the military, and so did Gardner. And then it was just me and Trudeau, And then he left, senior year to be with Avon, and then yeah, there's shit going on with Andy and Tackett. Tackett got kicked out for stealing weed, and obviously there was some problems with Andy going on, which I'm probably gonna get into that on like the next page. But oh yeah, that's right. This page, however, this is just a break from that. This is about the property, and it's just talking about how we have a good place, and like the man cave is like the highlight of it, and like we went from wood floors and no Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi, and carpeted floors, air conditionings, and different posters, squad drawings. We got the speakers, the flat screens, the dartboard, the '70s show table, the boards, the coffee maker, like a whole bunch of stuff in here. And the alpha spots, it's, obviously talking about that. The smoking tree, the sitting tree, high tower, where sometimes we go to chill and smoke, and that's where the new squad members, we bring them sometimes when they become an actual alpha, when they've been around long enough and they're cool enough. And then yeah, I found all those mostly in middle school. And then of course we have the range where we blow shit up, and then we have the bunker, which is behind that. Let's see what else we have here. Oh yeah, can't forget about the star room in Drew's house from when Andy moved in. He bought a whole bunch of glow in the dark stars, and we put them up everywhere. And now when it's nighttime, it literally looks like you're in a galaxy when you fall asleep. He used to have a flat screen. And I'll get into that too, because he had got a whole bunch of money from an insurance settlement because he was in a car crash when he was young. But he got his girlfriend pregnant and then blew the 6 grand on stupid stuff, including a grand of that being on a flat screen. Um, I was like, what the fuck? That's pretty much the property in a nutshell. There's a lot of cool stuff here, but it's kind of hard to explain, how cool it is. You just kind of have to see it for yourself. If you follow the YouTube and the Instagram, you'll see some of that. Now this is getting into where the squad started. Um, I'm gonna take another hit. I'm starting to get a little cotton mouth here. It's all good. What the hell is this? Looks like there's fucking peanut butter on the tray. Man, that didn't really taste that good. I'm gonna load up another one. I don't like to, draw away from the video, but I also know that I make my best content whenever, I'm enjoying the moment. And if I'm fucking stressed trying to fucking have a conversation on, for the YouTube, it's just gonna be kind of boring. So, yeah, I'm gonna retract for a minute. Hopefully I don't have to make too many of these videos. When I start over, hopefully I can just do this all in one take, but probably won't happen. Now we're cooking. Alright, now we're getting into where the squad started. Alright, it was summer break. It was freshman year 2012. The squad hadn't started yet, but I ended up meeting Andy. And that's where everything started. Because when sophomore year came around, he invited me to his house because I don't know how we got to be friends so quick, but like it just happened because of ROTC. And then he showed me this bridge on his road. And we went down there and we ended up drinking because his family had a party. And then he got 20 different kinds of liquor, like a shot of each, and mixed it all together in this mason jar, and we drank that. And then there was this abandoned house on his road this other time I went to chill there, because I only really chilled there twice. And then he ended up destroying it, and then I ended up, destroying it with him. So I thought, it's an abandoned house, who gives a fuck? But yeah, we got in trouble for that, and then I didn't see Andy until senior year. But yeah, he was like, dude, watch this, and like breaking shit, and like we were throwing boulders through the sinks, and like breaking cups, and going like, this is decaf, and all kinds of other shit. It was fun though. It was fun, but we did get in trouble with our parents, and I think they were trying to fuck with us, saying the cops knew something, but I don't really think that happened. Yeah. Um, yeah, and afterwards I didn't get to hang out with Andy, much more. Not really anymore. And then senior year started, and then I got a text that changed everything, which is the day the squad started, which was September 11th, which is obviously a bad day, but September 11th, 2014, that's when Andy hit me up. Senior year had just started and shit, and then he got kicked out of his house for smoking weed, which at the time, like, I was, like, kind of, not necessarily a goody two-shoes or whatever, like, it, I had never smoked, so I didn't know what to think of it. And like I was a little bit more innocent or something. I wasn't gonna like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I hadn't really drank or smoked like that. So I didn't know what to think of it. Like for example, somebody tried to sell me weed in the middle of class one time and I was like freaking out telling them no cuz I didn't know what to think about it. Like I wanted to smoke weed and drink. That's the only things I ever wanted to do. Vape didn't exist obviously. I didn't want to smoke cigarettes or do anything else. And shrooms wasn't even a thought in my mind at that point. But yeah. Um But yeah, he ended up coming over. Like he had a bike and he had a bike to the fucking high school in the middle of the rain, and then I got him. And he said no one was answering him and shit. So yeah, I got him. And then we were chilling at my house. Like, we made the star room. We were gonna start the cave and shit. And around the same time that we stopped at McDonald's after working out, and then Bizzle, Anton, and Ramos stepped out of their car because they were there. And then they flashed Andy a bag of weed, which is crazy because we were out in public and shit. But I guess no one was around or something. And then yeah, he went and bought it. I didn't get high the first two times, but after that I got high. I ended up smoking with him. I was just like, I want to see, what's this about? Because I couldn't, you can't imagine being high or being drunk till you do it. And like, I had to at least do it once for myself, to be able to relate, when I don't know, I wanted to enjoy it though. But yeah, I had a good time. Some of the videos, come from the first time I got high. I wish I still had the whole video, but it's deleted. It's all good though. The duty poopy pilgrim thing that Andy sang was like the highlight of that. So at least I've got that. Um, and I was like, damn, I'll never get this. So I'll never get this high again. Whenever I got high the first time, and it was crazy. I was having fun trying to solve this fucking puzzle cube that I'd got from school and shit, and it was calling Andy a Democrat and laughing and shit. And then not long after this, Tackett and Trudeau became part of the squad, and then that was the OG4. And it really sucks because the three OGs are gone, and now we have a new OG3 with me, Shoop, and Johnny. Um, yeah, but we used to play this game like Impractical Jokers, and me and Andy'd be on a team. I mean, me and Trudeau would be on a team, and Andy and Tackett would be on a team, and we'd have walkie-talkies, and you would be just screaming into it or saying what the other team has to do, and like it was funny, dude. It really brought us together too. It was a good start, and we made the squad and shit. And then before long, Brandon, Miller, Casey, Douglas, Kimbrel, Will, and Travis, were part of the squad. And then we got the name because Casey was chilling with us one day, and we were going to McDonald's or something, and we were referring to ourselves as Alpha Squad, and Casey started, and then he just shouted like Alpha Squad, Alpha Squad, and then yeah, it just stuck. Some of the other words like dad and globber and shit, kind of stuck like that, for different reasons and shit. But yeah, when Andy moved in, this is where it gets into it. When Andy moved in, and I obviously made the other video up to like what? Still got a few more pages to catch up for sure. Yeah, because it gets all the way up to where I was talking about Miller. I'm about halfway there. Okay. I think I'm gonna take me another one of those smokers. Come on, please have an hour worth of video. I didn't know I could commentate this one. It's actually easier than I thought. I just don't want the camera at my face. It fucking fucks up my fucking. Makes you paranoid and shit. Yeah. I don't know why. It's just how it is. You got a screen looking at your face with potentially 5 million people one day looking back at it. A little easier when people aren't looking at your face. Oh, and to the homies in the future with legal weed. Illegal weed times fucking sucked. It was a terrible fucking period. It was terrible! Man. I wish the old Shoopster was here for this. Well, that's all good. I'm actually reading more to the point this time anyway. Like, it's just because we were drunk and shit. I'm gonna keep those videos though. So I'm gonna have to review them. But yeah, the YouTube. Anyways, yeah, when Andy moved in, yeah, it was cool at first. He was like cooking burgers and shit. We were going to the gym, built the Star Room. He was a jokester and shit. But then he started to get into trouble. And he got $6 grand from the insurance settlement and blew it all on the hookahs and flat screens. And there was this weed, from Sky, the old fucking demon witch that fucking curses everybody that, comes around her. And I don't know if it was laced or not, but he said he felt like there saw caterpillars on him or something. I don't know if he was just fucking with us, but we threw his weed away. Which looking back is kind of funny. Just fuck him. He's an asshole now. But yeah, the carpets got burnt from the goddamn hookah, and then he got Christy pregnant, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And he moved out for like a week and moved back in. Then we kicked out Tackett for stealing the weed, and we smoked all his keef because he left his fucking golden skull grinder here that he'd never opened the keef chamber for, and it was locked. Like, not locked, it was just stuck, you had to get channel locks to open it, and that's what I did. Yeah. I'm telling you, when you smoke an all mid, because, back in the day, about 5 years ago, and then you get the loud fucking keef chamber from a nigga that tried to fucking take, your weed, oh man, it was nice. It was pretty good revenge, but Andy fucking brought it back to him, which sucked. And then, we were doing that shit with Andy, try to get his mod and shit, whenever he left for good. But, yeah, and then we let him use the Kia to go for a job interview, and then he crashed the Kia. And that's where a lot of things went downhill. We kicked him out, and then it was just me, Travis, Miller, Johnny, Will, Brandon, Casey, Douglas, Kimbrel, and Abe. But Casey and Douglas, like I said, that wasn't really that long, because that was like the end of, or halfway through, spring. Like it was around this time, March or something, when we kicked Andy out. And then I was chilling with them for a little bit, before, high school ended. There was like a 2.5 month period. And then we were like shooting. We got the 12 gauge. We were shooting shit. We were drinking, having the first squad miss. There was some drama, obviously. We were making up some of the funny words that we have today. A lot of chill sessions and shit. Stuff that like you remember depending on what was going on. Like you don't look back and necessarily like it comes to your memory like what I'm reading off now, but like you'll have the memories come and hit you at different points. And that's why I like to like talk like this, cuz like while I'm reading it certain things come back to me. Um yeah, and then can't forget the YouTube video with Dad. Um oh, and then this gets into where Andy first bought the hookah. Oh yeah, this is the first smoking drink, you know. Um yeah, Andy asked me to bring him to the pawn shop one day so he could buy a hookah for himself as one of his purchases with a 6 grand, his first purchase or whatever. And then before long, he had me under the impression it wasn't as bad as cigarettes, which I kind of knew it was either way. And we ended up smoking Pirates Cove and Blue Mist, which Pirates Cove is like a oaty kind of flavor, or like a cream, and then a Blue Mist is what it sounds like, but it's more blueberry than the misty menthol, you know. So yeah, those were the best. And then a lot of coals, burn the carpets, obviously. It had a pretty good effect, but we had to quit. But mods came out, One day Trudeau was talking about mods, and not long after, Miller brought a mod, and it looked kind of like the Panzer that Andy bought later. Because he walked into State Line and just told him money's not an issue. Just make me the best build you can. And so they did, and it was $300 copper RDA. It hit good as fuck. We had the mother's milk back then and shit. The OG mother's milk that they didn't take the cream flavor out of. And that was good because I didn't want to ruin my lungs with a shisha anyway. And then, yeah, we got vape pens from Spencer's. They had these fucking banging ass fucking green apple pens there. Yeah, that was one of the first things that me and Andy peeped. We got some posters from there at the time. And then the first drink was, yeah, that was the 27 cans of liquor. And then the first time I got drunk, Kathy actually bought me some beer and Mike's, and we had drank it and mixed it. And then, yeah, I got drunk in the hallway and just shit was spinning, and I was like, damn, so this is what it's like to be drunk. Because it was odd. I drank the 27 cans of liquor. I just got a pretty good buzz. I didn't even get drunk. But yeah, it was different. It was cool. Um, oh yeah, I made the paper banner for Squadmas. I started doing that as an annual tradition. And the fake snow in here. Oh yeah, I can't forget the gifts we had on Squadmas. We were giving each other gifts and smoking and stuff, doing the blunt ceremony. That's where it started. Doing the assault in the cave, the squad, the cave, the adventures, Alpha Squad for life. It's like the montage video said, like, you don't like us, fuck you. um, After high school, I talked about this last night, but this was pretty rough. Um, yeah, I'm gonna need to hit another one. Yeah, I might have gone through about 15 pages already, surprisingly. We're at the 24-minute mark, I gotta keep this going for probably an hour. Listeners, avert your ears. What you're hearing is definitely not any water being bubbled. Cottonmouth from hell. Fuck, I damn near drink this fucking water right now. It's such a great topic to talk about, but when you got cottonmouth and you're talking for a long period of time, man, I mean, it's a bastard. Nobody likes talking like for hours on end about the same thing, even if it is cool. But that's exactly what I'm going to do. Because I want to have it all fucking on video so I can listen to it again and be like, yeah. And I got some more to add on to it too, because I haven't talked about the squad since the end of last year. A few things changed. I think I'm gonna pause this real quick, and I'll be back, and I'm gonna get a drink. Alright, we're back on Miracle of Technology. What was 10 minutes was actually 3 seconds. Got my diet double fucking do right here. Jesus Christ, let me tell you, that sip really left my fucking nipples glowing right there. Fuck, I wish I had the patent to that motherfucker. Alright. Alright, after high school. So after high school, I planned to go to USC with a military scholarship. Yeah, for 4 years. But before that, we went on 2 beach trips. The one was with Miller, because Miller got invited by this girl named Tanya that he knew. And we ended up going with her. And there was another trip, because I went every year to the beach with my mom, and I got to bring somebody. And so there was a second one. And the trip with Miller was cool. Miller hit me up over the summer.